Hello and welcome to the third instalment of my reviews this week. Today we've got a Hornby model, and today it is the Hornby Railroad 9F. So big it's hard to even fit in the frame. You've probably seen kind of things like this on YouTube before. The reason I kind of chose to review it myself is just to again emphasise the greatness of these kinds of models. For their price ranges and their reliability, etc. But anyway, let's get her open. You don't want to hear me blabbling on about it. There we go. You get the usual kind of Hornby information guide about it, but again, that's for people to read afterwards. We'll start with the tender. Just comes out. There we go. So that's the tender. Nothing quite special about this, but again, for what it is, the amount of kind of detail and extra bits that you get on it, for the price that it is actually very good. So you've got kind of separate fitted ladders. The moulding, you can see lots of riveting, and you've got the lake crest on there as well. The tender itself, it's got kind of electricity that can be picked up from the wheels. It's got the fat Hornby couplings, and surprisingly, it's also got sprung buffers as well. You get the separate fitting vacuum pipe thing that you usually get with a lot of Hornby models. You've got the fake coal on there. Again, does look very nice. For this is a moulding anyway, and you've got a bit of detail on there. Anyway, enough about the tender. It's not really an important bit. Let's go over to the locomotive now. Do just slide out of the polished styrene. There we go. Again, these are taken from kind of old Hornby mouldings, but nonetheless, you do get quite a lot of kind of separate fittings. You've got the separate handrails, you've got the separate brass whistles up the top, but at the front, you can see the number there on the smoke box door, so 92221. Again, you've got sprung buffers as well. It's a bit stuck, but there we go. Sprung buffers on there. You've got kind of the fat usual coupling on there. Moving around the side, you've got separate smoke deflectors on there, and then you've just got all of these wheels, all 10 of them. Accurate kind of connecting rods. I think this bit is a bit different from the real thing, but nonetheless, it is very good, and it is, for what it is, remember 9Fs are freight locomotives, and it is quite heavy, and again, this is a very good runner and a very good puller on my layout. In the cab, I fitted the little men in there, and you have got a bit of cab detail for what it is. Remember, it is just a moulding, but you have got a bit of cab detail in there. On this side, you've got all of these little kind of the separate pipes, which would on a real thing all be in brass, all nice and polished up and shiny. And kind of the same thing, you've got separate fitted handrails, and you've got, remember, all of these wheels on here as well. But for what it is, the 9F, this Hornby version, for what it is and for what you get at the end of it, is quite a stunning locomotive at the end of the day. Remember, the 9Fs were the biggest standard kind of locomotives that were built by British Railways, and again, it's quite a locomotive that I've come to love, especially this one. Anyway, let's end this segment here, and we'll put her on the track. Okay, so here's the 9F now on the track, and I have to say, she does look very, very good once she's on the track. She does look very big and very opposing, and I think she is probably the largest locomotive I've got. Anyway, let's quickly send her off to do a quick loop. Again, the motor is quite responsive, the Hornby motor. It's a good mechanism. Very low maintenance, and it's quite smooth as well, which is quite nice. stop her there. Let's send her in the other direction. And I just love the fact that all those wheels are spinning at once. Very good. The antenna's gone a bit wonky. Fix that. There we go. It's a very nice mechanism that Hornby have put in this. Again, like I said, it's very, very low maintenance. And it's good for, you know, the average modeler, I'd say. Anyway, right, let's hook her up to the rake of teaks over there, and we'll see what she's like. Okay, so we've now got the 9F hooked up to her rake of teaks, so let's send her off around the track. You can see just how big she is compared to like one of the coaches. Let's do a sputter pass now. You can see all of those wheels turning all at once, giving out all that traction. Right, let's slow it down for kind of a slow pass. Bit juddery. There you go. Let's bring it to a stop there. So there we are. So this is the Hornby Railroad 9F. Again, for any kind of railway modeler, she is a great kind of locomotive to have on any kind of layout. For such an amazing price for what you're getting, to be honest, anyone in their right mind wouldn't turn this thing down. Great model to have, great power, good amount of detail for what you're actually buying, and I can't stress the value for money aspect of this model. It's just an awesome and very powerful locomotive to have. Again, recommend it to any kind of railway modeler or enthusiast who wants a kind of another freight locomotive, or is looking for a standard locomotive to kind of maybe start on a project. It's a good price to start at, and you know, there are a few things that you could do to this to make it an awful lot better. Right, so that concludes this part of my little series. Again, thanks for watching. Look out for the next episode.